No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have another gin from the legend that is James May. In fact, it's the second gin and it goes by the name of James Gin American Mustard. Now, those who remember my last video when I featured James's original gin, the Asian Parsnip, will remember that it was truly amazing. In fact, I think it was number 2 on my top 10 gins of that year. So he's followed up with this one, and I do admire the originality. However, I do fear that this time he may have gone quite mad because it's mustard flavoured gin. I did look into it. Apparently it's meant to sort of replicate the taste of an American hot dog. And I love a hot dog as much as the next man, or woman indeed, or any other gender. But surely he's gone too far this time. It also looks a little bit like a urine sample as well, so it's not shaping up to be absolutely great on the face of it. However, I have been proven wrong many times in my, well, I was going to call this a career. Well, there's not really a career. What is it? A low paid hobby that I film in my garage. So let's you never know. Let's cast the aspersions aside. I think it's going to be a little bit too weird, but who knows? But before we get stuck in, as always, if you like this sort of nonsense that I talk on here, even though it's called No Nonsense Gin, I like to think of it as an ironically named show, head over to the Bobby Freeman Show because there's way more of this stuff where I talk about the big weighty issues of the day and do my best to deal with them. So if you fancy a bit of that, then click on that thing there. American mustard is not in itself a recognised strain of the genus Brassica, Latin. It's more of a conceptual and abstract signifier of America's greatness. In producing this gin, I am acknowledging the UK's debt to the land of the free and celebrating the special relationship that our two nations enjoy. It's a bit like the one Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher had. Theirs helped to end the Cold War, but conversely, we will create warmth in your belly and a slight sensation of fire on your tongue. Now then, that's all well and good and witty and amusing, but it doesn't really tell us a great deal about the gin. So I've been on another website, that was taken from the James Gin website, but this says the warmth in the belly will come from the gin's signature botanical, which is yellow mustard seeds. But to add to the somewhat hot dog / burger themed flavour profile, there is also gherkin and dried tomato, and oh god, it sounds like it's getting worse, to be honest. Other botanicals include coriander seed. Here we go, this is where it starts to get a little bit more gin. Coriander seed, angelica root, licorice root, orange peel, cubeb, pepper, rosemary, caraway seeds, I don't know why I said it like that, ginger, bay, and essential for gin, obviously, juniper. Now, I have to say, I've tried a lot of gins on this show. I have tried many hundreds of gins. However, this is probably the weirdest bunch of botanicals I've ever encountered. So, this could go either way. So I say we stop fanning around anymore, my friends, and just get stuck right in. And like the previous gin, we do have a cork in there, so you know what that means. It's the cork test.
The cork test.
So then here we go, going for a squeak. No squeak at all, very silent. It's a very small cork here, so we might not have anything huge to write home about. We'll give it a go anyway. Here we go, hang on. Oh my god, it's quite a tight one. Here we go. Oh, Christ, it's... Oh, go on, you bastard. Oh god, oh dear. Well, that was a lot of effort for not much reward. Not the best cork test. Usually it's a bit louder when you hear it in your ears because it's right by the microphone, but by my ears I'd say that was very mediocre and a very poor start. But of course, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter because we all know it's just a bit of fun. So then, let's get it in the old glass, shall we? And it's got a beautiful sort of splayed out bit on the top, which makes a very clean pour. I like that. So, here we go. I have no idea what to expect. Well, I do have an idea what to expect, but I think it's going to be very strange. So, nostrils are going in. Here we go. Oh, wow. Wow. I was expecting an absolute mess of aromas that just wouldn't work in any way there, but I tell thee what. Oh, do you know what? If I had no idea what those aromas were, what the botanicals were, I wouldn't be able to place those. I would say it's kind of a savoury gin though, which we've had a few in the past. I think we had the mushroom one, we had the oyster one. What the hell? We had something else as well, but I really liked them. It's kind of heavy in the juniper, but it's almost a sort of there's something just slightly sort of tangy in there. Stings the nostrils a little bit and a bit sort of musty, but it kind of a nicely well balanced way. So I'd say I've gone from sort of abject sort of terror to sort of a bit of intrigue now. So I say, my friends, let's get a bit of tonic in there and taste the blighter. So it's 40%, okay? It's not too strong. I can't remember what the previous James Gin was. It's in the house. I drink that one quite a bit. So let's whack it in there. About that much, I reckon. So here we go, my friends. As I always say at this point, thank you to all my patrons and to all my members who are literally paying for the gin on this show. They pay for this gin right there. Thank you very much. Everybody, this is James Gin American Mustard on No Nonsense Gin Drinking, the most watched gin channel in the whole world. But there's not actually that many gin channels around, so it's not much of an achievement. I say to you, cheers. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, when you talk about all those different flavours that are in there, I thought it was going to be a horrible mess, like I said with the aromas. I thought it was going to be a ham-fisted, cobbled together bunch of ridiculous flavours that just aren't going to work. However, there's a lovely, beautiful, masterful bit of balancing going on in there, because you've got kind of the initial it puts me in mind a little bit the initial sort of tip over the tongue of the original James Gin, but then it's kind of like I say, a savoury edge to it, and it's got a kind of a, I can't think how to describe it. There's basically a lot more subtlety and balance going on than I thought there probably would be. So you get that initial kind of sort of nice juniper-y sort of punch, which you should do as you're drinking gin, but then it's kind of followed by a warmness, but kind of a welcome sort of familiar warmness, but it's difficult to put your finger on what it is. That is until you get the aftertaste, because that's when you get the waft, and it's kind of a confirmation waft, if you can imagine such a thing. It's kind of that warm, sort of slightly sort of grabby tonguiness that you get in mustard, but not in any way an overpowering way, because I have to be honest, I'm not the world's biggest fan of mustard. I would avoid it when it goes onto a hot dog or a burger or anything. And I was kind of, sort of, as I say, a little bit scared of that. But it's used in such a delicate way. And funnily enough, in the same way that I don't like parsnips, I loved the use of it in the previous gin. It was just very delicate and just like a suggestion of it. And sometimes that can really sort of work well. In fact, very much like Steve the Bartender's gin, threefold gin up there, it's got a tiny bit of grapefruit in there. I'm not a big fan of grapefruit, don't like it, but in just a tiny measures, it can kind of enhance the other flavours. And that's what's kind of done here. It's a bit like when you do bite into a burger or a hot dog and it's loaded with all those different things, you know, the kind of, you know, all the different toppings and everything you get in there. And if you get the right balance of all those things, the perfect balance, the flavours combine and it's just something magical and it works. That's kind of what they've done here. They've kind of combined them. I think there must have been a lot of time spent in the distillery testing different amounts of this and about that. I can't imagine how long it took them. However, they have absolutely nailed it, and it's sort of these savoury flavours which you have to use carefully in gin because it can just be something weird. It's absolutely delightful. It's kind of like a meal in a glass, like you've taken a big mouthful of something. It's just like, oh. In fact, I think if you were really hungry and you took a big slug of that, you probably think, you know what, I'm full now. And that's an incredible thing for a gin, and I'm most welcomely, pleasantly surprised. However, my friends, will this work neat? I don't know, I really enjoyed that with the tonic, so I suspect it's probably going to be, you know, my usual outcome. But let's give it a go anyway. Let's try and get it. Here you go. Oh, wow. Oh, hello. Yeah. Now you've got the kick of the mustard a little bit more. It did release the flavours, but it kind of took the edge off the kick of the mustard. Yes, that's definitely warming the tongue. They talked about warming the tongue, didn't they? Yeah, it's still going, I imagine, you know, I know if you took a big spoonful of mustard, your tongue would be on fire. And I wouldn't say it's on fire, but it's certainly kind of, it's not a flame, it's a light spark. But again, interesting, but to me, I'm going to drink some more. However, my friends, what is this fella going to cost you? Wow, I can tell you now, it's right towards the top end of my little niche non-mainstream gin budget. It's £39. I don't like it to go over that, but that is about $45 and about the same in euros at the moment because the exchange rate is so terrible. But my friends, if ever, I'm telling you now, if ever you were going to push the envelope a bit further, that is something special and worth every single penny. So guys, to sum up, what a journey this has been. I was genuinely not looking forward to trying this. I thought, oh, it's such a shame because I loved the Last James gin. It's one of my favourite all-time gins, I would say. So I was like, oh man, mustard? Seriously? But this just shows what can happen when expertise are applied to something. Even as weird as this, it can create something truly magical and completely unexpected. And I guess this is what kind of happens with someone like James May. You know, he's not relying on this to make money. This is just a bit of he's just dabbling in this now for a bit of fun. So he can take these huge risks because it doesn't really matter. If no one bought it, he doesn't care. He's got loads of money. He doesn't care. So this is what happens when you can literally throw caution to the wind. Don't play it safe. In fact, take a huge gamble. It could have gone badly, but as I say, apply the expertise in there, which he clearly has. It's gone absolutely amazingly. And I'm telling you now, if I'm going to recommend one gin for you to try this year, purely for the the originality of it, this, my friends, has got to be it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I absolutely loved making it for you. As always, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to press the like button on the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, if you want to support the show, head over to the Patreon page or click the join button below this video. But until next time, guys, take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and members, and of course, keep drinking the gin.